Are you looking for more out of your life? Do you need ideas on how to start new businesses and how to move forward in your own personal life? Well, guess what? You have come to the right radio show. At You Can Overcome Anything podcast show, you will learn and hear from many people from all walks of life who are sharing their challenges, their stories, the habits, and the mind shifts they had to overcome to become who they are today. On top, you will get a chance to connect and see how you can overcome anything by networking and learning about your next move through this radio show. I present to you our great speakers at You Can Overcome Anything podcast show with your host, Cesar Espino. Hello there, and welcome back to another episode of You Can Overcome Anything podcast show. It is your host, Cesar Espino, and today I have a special guest. Her name is String Nguyen. I think I got that right, correct?
You win?
Yes.
We all win? You win.
There you go, you win. Yes. Welcome to the show. How are you today?
I'm feeling great. I have my coffee.
Yeah.
I had an early meeting. I'm pumped, and I'm just thankful that you're happy to reschedule because last week.
Yeah, no worries. No,
mindset.
yeah, no, definitely. I'm glad that we finally have you here at the show. So happy to have you here. Let me just give the people a little bit of your background, and then we can dive into it. String is a fried chicken lover and a 4 times LinkedIn's top voice. As a founder of the Trusted Voice, they help businesses leaders be authentic digital storytellers, leveraging personal brand marketing. That's awesome. So tell me, String, tell me more about you. Where are you originally from, and how was your upbringing like?
I always start with my mom because she's a refugee from Vietnam. And she taught me a lot about being resourceful and just surviving, really. So she survived the war, she survived poverty, and she was like the first of 9 kids. And she was the only one who didn't go to school. So she still continues to be illiterate today, but that didn't stop her from doing a lot of things that she had to do. And she's also, and she's a single mom. So I'm like a kid of 5. And she brought us 5 kids by herself, even though she's like illiterate, but she was able to have businesses. So my mom just taught me a lot that, you know, if you persevere and build up a good network, you will like find a path regardless what happens.
Right. Yeah. No, that's awesome. So were you born in Vietnam, or were you born in Australia?
So all of us were born in Australia.
Okay. Got you. Yeah, no, that's awesome. And so tell me, like growing up, obviously knowing that and learning that from your mom, all those principles and all of those different things that she was teaching you, what has been maybe some of your biggest lessons up to this point that you've learned?
And I always like, I'm super curious as a person, and my mom thinks I read too much. This is why I wear glasses these days.
Yeah.
So she's super resourceful. So she couldn't afford childcare. Like think about it, 5 kids, single mom.
Yeah.
So what she did was like she made us like wait for her after school at the library, the local library. And, you know, like usually librarians would be uncomfortable being childcare, but we weren't that type of kids. We were just there. My brothers were playing chess. I was reading books from Mill and Boons. Yeah. By the way, as an adult, I feel like it's a piece of bullshit reading that now.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. So but I just read everything, like like magazines. I hanged out with Sigmund Freud, but I love the Greek mythologies. And my brothers and I will fight over, like my siblings and I will fight over the computer just to have access to the internet. So the library was my Google. So because of that, and to this day, even the librarians continue to follow my journey on video storytelling.
Wow. Yeah.
And like, again, it's the same thing, developing community, being resourceful and following my curiosity. Like the library was like the pivotal moment where it's like, I'm allowed to be who I am and what I do and just follow my curiosity. And, you know, like we have Google now, but then back then we didn't have Google.
Right.
But the library was my source of information where I could like follow that curiosity.
Yeah, definitely. And talking about that, one of the biggest obstacles you've kind of had to overcome was escaping the imposter syndrome, right? And being
Yes.
authentic, finding your voice. Tell me more about that. How was that for you? When did you find yourself really, dealing with that imposter syndrome before you actually truly found your voice?
Well, I think like I feel like it's hard just to look at like just the context of my background. We were brought up, we lived in a commission housing flats, but I felt like our childhood was pretty happy because I thought I was the biggest tomboy, and I realized that um, that my brother kept on like winning more, like achieving more. Like maybe he had a bit of an easy pathway just because
Hmm.
he's a boy, and I feel like I had to fight a little bit harder just to get what I needed.
Hmm.
And being a female, being Asian, and being Australian, like we have all these three double, triple whammies of like you're not allowed to be bragging about what you do. So I had to find that balance, right? So like I had all these like barriers or societal expectations on me, and then I just
Hmm.
realized it was all bullshit again.
Yeah.
And but still, like I had early on, I had to I kept on finding champions who just brought me up and pushed me up. And it's like you should keep on following your curiosity, keep on doing what you love, because like you'll find your own path. So finding champions helped with dealing with my imposter syndrome because that kept on opening doors. But the biggest moment really was when I started doing video. Like people think of like I went on social media, especially on video, just to communicate what I learned. So I became. Have you heard of Meerkat? Meerkat is like Periscope. Have you heard of Periscope?
Yeah.
Yeah. So before Periscope existed, there was Meerkat,
Okay.
and Meerkat was like the live streaming platform that that blew up before Periscope brought out by Twitter. And within that 6 months, I was able to like gain a community, was a top 20 around the world, and I was the only number one in Australia. I had like about 44,000 followers within that time, and all I did was talk about what I learned, how to like be a better communicator. And through that, I was able to have access to really smart people, a community, and an audience. But it wasn't really the audience that I gained. It's like the people who I, even to this day, continue to support me. And one of them like flew me all the way to America, and I stayed in rent free in San Francisco for 6 months because he
Wow.
believed in me.
Yeah. No, that's amazing. And talking about just finding those champions or finding the people, the community, or the people. What is your belief on that now? Uh, in terms of being around the right type of people, right? You often hear the average five. You hear, you got to hang around with the average five. What does that mean to you from that perspective?
It's not even about the average vibe because like I actually rejected champions because when you have imposter syndrome,
Mm-hmm.
you don't think you're worthy of those people opening those doors, right? But you have to like even if they open that door, you still have to walk through that door, open through that door, or walk through that door. So you have to have that courage just to like willing to do that. Sometimes you learn mistakes and sometimes you meet dodgy people, but the more people that and the knowledge that were given me were like 5 years, like I wasn't capable at the time to like execute it, but they gave me the knowledge. When if you listen properly, they give you the insights that will help you plan the next 5 years if you need to,
Mm-hmm.
because they lived those 5, 10 years.
Right. Yeah. No.
So how do you recognize them? They're usually your mentors,
Mm.
door openers. Don't you have that? Like, haven't anyone opened
Yeah.
doors for you?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. And that's part of it. I think, I know for me, one of the things is like, you're always finding those people that are going to be there to kind of help you in different aspects. Right. And I believe that hanging around with group of crowds of people where you can actually find something that is very common can help you move forward and closer to your goal. Specifically, when you find mentors, I myself have a lot of mentors in terms of different things that I do, just because they know more, right, and they can help me from that perspective.
And um, the biggest thing that you could do to pay respect to them is doing well. and just keep in touch with them, because they're not your babysitters or your mums or dads.
Right.
All they want to do is boost your way and pathway to success.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the biggest respect that you could do for their time and the advice that you could do is just do well. And acknowledge them when you're like up there. And just like, hey, this person helped me along the path.
Right. So talking about, finding your voice, right? And you've obviously done a lot of stuff through LinkedIn, Clubhouse. You talk about finding your voice on Clubhouse. How has that now developed to you helping people do the same thing?
I had to share one more story as well, because there's always like pivotal life moments. And at the younger age, my brother died. And that was a game changer for me as well. I had to go through a process of grief and then realize that the best way is to celebrate his life is for me to live my life to the fullest potential. And those wake up moments is like, oh, I need to do what I need to do to like be who my path or be me, right? And I realized like you need a level of self-awareness of not understanding your core values to find your voice, because there's always going to be that negative voice inside your own head. And the biggest enemy is not people outside. Our biggest enemy is in here and in here, because our heart knows what it wants to do, but our head is telling us like, no, don't do that.
Right.
That's risky. So it's the head. Your hair is like controlling you more than you think it is. And it's only through a video. That's why I encourage people to communicate on a regular basis, because once you dance silly in front of a video, even people's critique doesn't hurt you anymore, because you're already put yourself out there already, right? Do the most silliest thing out there, because then by doing that, rejection doesn't hurt as much, because you already put yourself out there to look silly. So everything else becomes very little or has no meaning anymore. And so I really encourage people to find their voice by just going on stage. Otherwise, it's the white guy that's going to take over.
Yeah, and that's actually pretty interesting, and I like that. I know sometimes people might be saying, "Well, I don't know what to talk about, or I'm not good, I'm camera shy, or I cannot, I don't even know what to do," right? Kind of aspect. What would you tell to those people?
You know your shit. Haven't you lived 20 years or 10 years of earned experience and lived experience, gaining knowledge and insights? Your insights and your experience is as equally important as a person who's on that stage as well. But the only difference is one person's a better communicator than you. That's it.
Right. And so you have to be able to practice and work on that communication, and you only do that by getting exposed to your using your voice, right?
Yeah, it's just like you, Cesar. You do podcasts as a way to have your own stage and allow you to amplify your voice and communicate and network with other people. So I think this is a smart way you're doing, right?
Right.
But people don't have that. So you either have to be a good moderator on Clubhouse and own that stage, or you always going to be the guest. But sometimes being a guest allows you to leverage people's networks as well.
Yeah, right. Definitely. So tell me how you're helping businesses leaders be authentic in their digital storytelling. How people find you, or how do you help them with that, and how can you help them really become this big voice based on that digital storytelling?
So over the years, I realized that people want a step or framework to be successful. It just helps them build confidence, and it builds that thing, right? So it's true, because I've been developing it and I actually know my shit. But then it's only when I started saying, I have the 7 V's framework to help you be from a silent profile, because you're already an expert, but you haven't got any trust factor online because you're invisible. There's no, even though you're an expert here and you lived all these years, you're silent profile online, so you're invisible to a lot of people. So I help a lot of experts, business owners, coaches, anyone who has expertise, professionals, right, who are silent profiles, become the trusted voice using the 7 V's framework. Would you like to hear it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So the first V is your vision. What is your vision? Let's just use you, Cesar. It's like, and I always ask this question: what are you the trusted voice for? Just complete this as a sentence. I am the trusted voice for.
I am the trusted voice for the people, or something, right? You complete that sentence. Got you.
Yes. So I am the trusted voice for personal brand marketing, and you're the trusted voice for helping people live their full potential.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So by doing that, like you kind of like acknowledge what your superpowers are. But by saying I am the trusted voice for people, it's too vague. So you need to like give context about the transformation and stuff.
Yeah.
But you literally, like, you create this podcast to be the trusted voice or the source.
Yep.
For people to motivate them so they live their full potential.
Right. Yeah.
So the next values is your values. And there's two types of values. There's your core values. And this is really important to be authentic, because the more you know who you are, the more you could like walk your own truth every day. And the second is your value propositions. Like, what are you known for? What will people pay you for? There's always something that people pay for knowledge. People are willing to save time or money. So you just need to know, to be authentic, this is like who I am as a person. And if you go against your core values, you feel shit. So if I don't, if for example, diversity is one of my things, and when I don't support some diversity, I actually think about it for 2 weeks because I didn't do it properly. And that makes me feel like crap, right?
Yeah.
If I go against my core values. And so the more you know who you are, the more that you could like walk in your own truth. And it's good too, because business people want to know, it's like, oh, String believes in diversity and I support diversity, so I want to work with her. For example, I was on a Clubhouse and this lady she's a white lady and she had a branding with a ninja thing. She had chopsticks in her hair, everything, right? And it's like full on racist, but because she built her brand around that for years, I called her up and said, hey, I can't be on the same stage as you anymore. Just call her out on that. Yeah. Because I can't do business with people who are racist.
Right. Makes sense. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. And she's going to attract audience that are white people who are not Asians anyway. So I can't work with her just because of that. Right. So that's see how like having values and working with knowing who you are allows you to like work with people who have the same value sets as well. Yeah. Your audience will attract that. Yeah. And the third one is your voice. So this is us like creating content. So your voice is allowing you to create content and showcasing your expertise. And you're allowed to have fun too. It's like I usually say 80% do business, 20% show your personality. That's why fried chicken comes along.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I get messages every day.
Right.
Every day who's like talking about fried chicken with me. Because they want, because people want excuse. Like I'm giving them a clue to like for them to come to me, have an excuse to talk to me. So fried chicken is like an excuse to talk to me, and it allows me to see if they read the content or they see things. And the fact that you read my bio is like a fried chicken. That means like, oh, Cesar knows my stuff at least.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. The third one is your visuals. So fried chicken's my visuals, the way you present yourself, color brand. I use fried chicken as a way to like represent me. So if you pass KFC, what's another popular fried chicken place? Anyway, all the fried chicken joints, you think of me. No matter what.
Right.
No matter what. You guys see, I bet you from now on, Cesar, every time you guys see me fried chicken, you were like, oh, String likes fried chicken a lot.
Yeah, exactly. No, yeah, and even on your social media, you have pictures too with, the fried chicken and all that stuff when you're creating your content. Yeah.
Yeah, in my emojis, like I use like fried chicken emoji as a bullet point.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So then like it just reinforces that, and every time I wear my fried chicken hat, they know it's String straight away. If I put like a fried chicken thing, that I don't even show my face anymore. Like I see it show up with fried chicken and they know it's me.
Yeah. So that's actually pretty cool. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah. And so you probably just need your own visual icon. Like which one? What's your emoji? Cesar?
Yeah, I don't know. I got to come up with one. Definitely not. You definitely got me thinking. You definitely got me thinking. A lot of it because I do with the podcast and building the brand of You Can Overcome Anything. My books. I have a book series called You Can Overcome Anything. So I got to figure out something. But I definitely do like that.
Yeah, and sometimes I tell, like, when people watch me live stream, it's like, throw a fried chicken below if you're vegetarian for favorite fruit or veggie. But but they're literally like dropping fried chickens for me.
Oh, really? Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can use it as a total engagement piece, a community builder, as a visual cue, visual branding. So each V has a lot of like nuances, and I like going deep dives. And then the fifth E is an important one. It's like Volks, which is a German word for folks, like people. So, like, Cesar, let me ask you a question. Who are the people that you want to serve?
So for me,
is it like professionals?
Yeah. So I think it's a combination of both people that really want to step into being able to do really anything in their life, right? So really helping them step out of their limiting beliefs or things of that nature and into a more a promising aspect of their life. So I would say for the most part, I do work with professionals, also people that are barely stepping out and want to get into a higher level. Yeah.
Okay, so you like focus on professionals who wants to be senior level, professionals who are about to jump to senior level.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a really good like career change moment. For me, I help a lot of like I feel like I have extremes. It's like people who already are a trusted voice already or trusted voice, but they don't have an online presence, or people who are like at the bottom who has a voice but are scared. So I'm very extreme. So I have to like have two different almost like services just to cater for this, right? Yeah. But that's cool. That's part of the game that we're building a business out of a little bit as well. So so my Vokes are that, and then but everyone I believe has a superpower. And I had this one argument with this lady online. And I just think she just has limited belief. Like if she doesn't believe herself, how can others believe in her as well?
Right.
Yeah, it's really hard, right? Huge. Like I want to help her. Yeah.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
And
like
that's
if they
huge.
have like, you probably could spot it when someone has a victim, like a strong victimhood.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like even if you try to help them, all they do is like push themselves unconsciously.
Right.
And even if you give them all the tools that you need, but if you still don't, like, that limiting belief is so ingrained in us, like if you don't do it yourself, it will never work for it. All my techniques will not work for her or him.
Yeah. And I actually like that. That's actually very true, because you can give people the tools, the how to do it, except as we were talking about earlier, is, your biggest fight is within you, right? And so if you haven't worked on that mental aspect, your mental health, and you're not working on your mind and really what I would say programming your mind in the right aspect, you're never going to be able to move forward, right? Because as you said, we're fighting our own battles, right? We're giving ourselves the negative talk. We're not believing, and so therefore we feel like we're not going to be able to do that. It's Abraham, I think it was Abraham Lincoln, or I forget who said, if you think you can or you think you can't, either way you're right. At the end of the day, is what do you believe, right? Yes,
and I really utterly believe that, because like people think I'm confident. It's like, no, it's many years of reprogram, like you said, because like I have to like deal with like financial literacy. I had to like see where the habits are, and then I realized it all came back to my mum. So I had to learn how to unbreak that, but I still have to deal with like it's just an ongoing process of being a better person.
Right. Yeah.
And creating content for me is just like my way to be a better communicator and be a better person. That's it. It's not the most thing. It's the most selfish thing. People think it's helping them, but it's helped me more than it helps them too. So it's like this. It's a win-win situation. I help you. You actually help me.
Right. Yeah.
So they always come from that moment. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. No. And I was gonna say that it's like, for me, like doing this podcast. I know that a lot of people are being impacted by the different guests that are here and the different stories and the different principles that people share. at the same time, I'm getting so much of that too, right? So by me being here, I'm also winning. So I think it's, again, everybody wins, right? And I like that mentality when you take it that to that level where it's not just about you, it's not just about them. You're creating an atmosphere or something where everybody wins, right? Um, and so I definitely do agree with that. Let me ask you this: obviously, you've been studying, you've been working on your mental health for quite some time. Do you have any daily habits that you do every day that they're your must things that you have to do every day regardless?
You know what? Lately, it's like the only thing I've been doing daily is playing chess.
Ah, that is very smart. That's a very smart game, and gets you thinking a lot too, right?
Yeah, because like I do blunders so much, and it's like, oh, I move so fast. So it's like
Yeah.
it's actually chess is like a game of like making you be more patient, and like when you see the big picture. So it actually calms me down because like I get really, so I just play chess now just as a way as therapy, but usually I realize that even I like just talking to you, it's like if I had to like pick up one more habit, a better habit is yoga or Pilates, something along those lines, because I have like been focusing my mind, but I've been neglecting my health in general.
Got it.
So I need to like work on my like body or health next because I realize I'm strong here.
Right.
So I just need to work on other aspects of it. Just talking to you now just made me realize it's like, oh shit, I have to like work on my other parts of my life as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. I know for a fact, and I'm not saying that I do it all the time. I build some habits throughout the years, and I like to go out for walks in the morning. I like to do journaling and also affirmations and just kind of meditate. And so that's kind of like my daily routine to help me be in a positive state of mind for the day. And then before I go to sleep, I do the same thing. So I'm always trying to, or not trying, I'm always doing to train my mind in a positive way, right? And in terms of that stuff.
Yeah, so I've been doing chess and I actually I think talking to my partner about my day helps as well. So that's probably my daily habit with him. But I just realized like talking to you now that I probably just talk too much about business with him. So he's like trying to find other things to talk about with me.
Yeah.
So,
No, that's
I'm very business oriented because like that's like my focus right now.
yeah. Talking about business, like if people wanted to work with you, where can they find you, or how can they work with you?
Well, you could go on the. I'll always run regular challenges, and you could always find regular resources. So you go to www.thetrustedvoice.co. I'm running a 7-day challenge called 7 Days of LinkedIn Content Challenge on the 7th of July.
Okay.
You know, 7-7, because I like those numbers.
Yeah.
But typically, you always find me active on LinkedIn.
Okay. LinkedIn, and what's your handle?
Follow me on String Nguyen.
Okay, got it. And we'll have all that information.
Nguyen.
Yeah.
Don't worry. I'm sure on the show notes. I'm sure.
yeah. So we'll put them on the show notes for sure. So, and so, do you work normally with just business entrepreneurs, or what kind of people do you work with?
Mostly a lot of like you have to look at it. It's a lot of like solopreneurs and entrepreneurs. I'm trying to like yeah, those are the two main ones because like my membership focuses a lot on helping more the solopreneurs and coaches and professionals who want to like develop a side hustle. And the second one is all like what I call they have like so many years of expertise, but they don't have an online presence, and they just want to have a move their presence online.
Yeah.
So, like for example, I work with Holly Lee. She had like a 20K YouTube presence, and then we worked on her like LinkedIn presence and her like a back end a lot. So it's just like working with those type of people who have like a strong content creator, but they want an online presence.
Okay, awesome. That's good. For the people that are listening to us and watching us, if they're going through any challenge, whatever that challenge might be, what is one thing you can say so they can start overcoming that challenge?
Right. Even if you do video, like even if you don't share that, it just makes you get out of your head.
Yeah, I like the idea of it's like a computer dump, right? You want to take all of that stuff from your head into a piece of paper, and some of that stuff might be good, and some of that stuff might be bad. At the end of the day, you want to clear your head instead of keeping all those thoughts into your head, and that can definitely help you in many different aspects, right?
Yeah, because like I feel like maybe it's just me, but I'm always inside my head a lot.
Yeah,
So I need to clear it out faster so then I have new ideas come into my head.
right. Yeah, I totally agree with that. I definitely agree with that. String, anything else you want to say before I let you go?
No matter what happens in life, just know that there's always light at the end of the day.
Yeah. And that could be, you know, that could definitely be, I love that message. And that can also be a little bit of one of those things where, like, even going through some very tough challenges is like, you know, sometimes we feel like it's never going to end. And so you have to be, I think, as you were talking about with Ches, you got to be patient. You got to be able to just kind of follow through. And at the end of the day, like you said, there's going to be light at the end of the tunnel, right? So, no, that's awesome. String, I had a very good time talking to you today. Thank you for being here on the show. Definitely, I appreciate you being on the podcast today.
Thank you, Cesar.
Awesome. And for the rest of you guys, do me a favor, please make sure you follow her on all social media. We'll have on the comments, the website. Go check out her challenges, and please connect with her, and stay tuned for the next episode of You Can Overcome Anything podcast show. Bye.
Hi, I'm Cesar Espino, real estate investor, business coach, and consultant, and author of the book, You Can Overcome Anything, Even When the World Says No. My number is 424-501-6046. In my book, I talk about making the necessary changes to shift your mind for prosperity and certainty. Pick up your copy at Amazon. I also love helping families with their real estate and can purchase your house fast and all cash. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. My number is 424-501-6046.
Thank you for having me today. I am so glad you've tuned into this podcast. You can find me at your favorite podcast platform where you can like, subscribe, comment, and share. And to learn more about myself, my services, you can find me at www.CesarRespino.com, or you can also find me at your social media. Thanks for joining me, and I am looking forward to having you at the next episode. And know you truly can overcome anything.